Good afternoon, this is Beaty-Coffey. We have a poem here by TS Eliot, Mr. Eliot's Sunday morning service. So I'm going to read the poem, and I may mispronounce some of the words because, do you see this book right here? It has to do with vocabulary. And one thing teenagers are kind of balky at in my world is we're going to stop and I stop and I pay attention to words. I'm educating myself, but I'm also helping them start to understand that words have deeper meanings and kinder meanings than what is in social media today. We are rife with issues in the European and American worlds with misunderstanding. It takes something like the war in Ukraine to really see how much we love each other. Right now, you're witnessing the Ukrainians primarily, and their president being an icon of courage, literal icon of courage. The Ukrainians and the Russians, the real people, not the oligarchs and the communistic, if you will, behavior of Vladimir Putin and others in leadership that are pushing for war. They are driving a mentality that is murderous. And the rest of us are great and are good and are fighting for peace on earth, for our children, for our grandchildren. And it's really quite that simple. I am thankful that I can say it is really quite that simple. Today, in 2022. Now, back to my beautiful poem with Mr. Eliot. So I was at a coffee shop and already began the work, even have music, which I will listen to again as I choose a couple of the verses to go here. But before I read it, I came home. My Rune Stones, let me show you. My Rune Stones are now in a briefcase. They are the business of my life because I interpret other authors, and many of them have gone to the other side and many of them are in other lives on the earth. If they're dealing with me, they come back. They're immortals. That is a world of mystery, and if you will notice, TS Eliot is one of them, and I am skilled in the great spirit art of Rune Stones. Therefore, when I put my hand, I decided I was just going to draw one rune, and today I decided no, I need to go with a trio because that's the Trinity to the Christian Bible that I can no longer read in the general populace of America because they are misinterpreting it. Republicans and evangelicals are misinterpreting the Bible, and they have been doing that my whole life. I evolved over 13 years to the point that I am careful with what I read in the Bible. And I've already declared a modern day Bible. And the head of that is Abraham Lincoln. I can tell you with certainty that Abraham Lincoln is tribe Judah, elect Gentile like myself. Okay. You can believe me or not, I don't care. But this is where my runes are. And I pulled out this one and then heard Great Spirit. In other words, this is a part of my gifting. I heard Great Spirit. No, this needs to be a 3 rune. And by the time I reached my back, okay, and then I pulled this out, which is Berkana, meaning growth, which is, I wanted to know what the message for this poem is. And I already had read it, visited it with different colors. And here's my question. Is it possible in hell a fire exists under seas? And here's the answer. As I reached into the back, so one way to do runes, according to Ralph Bloom, whose runes I am using for interpretation, and he is still here this time. He is an immortal like myself. He's been here before. I pulled this out, then decided, no, this is not a one rune art. So then I thought 3, and put this back. One way to do it is to put each one back after you draw it. And I'm not finished here, obviously. I've got to put the numbers of 16 and this is 25. I didn't even put it. It's mystery. But after I drew 16, I put it back and I thought mystery, and I drew it. And I always mix them up with whichever hand. I use both hands. I know which hand I'm supposed to use that time. And I thought mystery, and I had already drawn it. That's about the third or fourth time I've done that. Sometimes, honestly, at this point, I will tell you, if I don't think of mystery, I'm not going to draw it. That's how it works with me with Rune Stones. And I'm sure there's other people like that, spiritualists. I'm a sorceress. I'm sure there's witches, warlocks, wizards, and others who have this happen. So I'm going to read this poem.